Those licentious Macedonians taunt us with their very existence. Every week I write to Eutropius and tell him to take his army down and crush them, but that pampered little whelp refuses to march against them because we should not create conflict where there is none. If he maintains this stance, I will have his head, and then there shall be none of his ideas. Hello everybody, Mythic here, and welcome back to Roma Restuat. Now, I know it has been a long time since Roma Restuat has been posted on this channel, and that is because this is the final part. And it took a lot longer to edit, because it was a longer recording file, so there was a lot more to edit. And I didn't feel like stretching it out any longer than it needs to be, because if you've seen the Frozen Stag YouTube channel from like a month or 2 months ago at this point, yeah, you know the series is over. So, yes, we have come to the end of Roma Restuat, and I will discuss why it ended in more detail towards the end of the video, after we play the final scene, which, you know, hopefully you're all looking forward to. But I know it's going to be a bit of a disappointing conclusion for some people, so again, sorry. Hope you enjoyed this last episode. So, picking up where we left off, we're pretty much just rebuilding Italy again. My funds are, I'm not making as much money as I used to, frankly. I'm kind of poor, I'm gonna get poorer, and that is the sad fact of reality. Now, the Macedonians have actually betrayed us. I know, I hate Macedon too. But so we finally have to go fight them. And now, I think it is crazy how the series begun with a war against Macedon, and it's now going to end with a war against Macedon. Virius will see the destruction of the Macedonian people. Their time has come. I am done with them. They will perish. So anyway, we've got Firmus Maximus over here, one of the original commanders. He is our fleet master, the admiral of the Grand Fleet of the Corinthian Empire. And pretty much we're going to pull off a little basic victory over here down by Reggio, which is actually the name in Lucium. Fun fact. But Reggio's gone in Lucium 3.0, so please, you know, don't worry about it. Anyway, blockading the city. This isn't going to actually put them under siege, it's just going to blockade them. So, we're not going to be able to do that much, but we should be able to keep them on their toes. And we're pretty much just going to hold off here at this point, because there's nothing to do. I'm thinking about auto-resolving. I don't know if I actually decide to do it in the end, because it would get a lot of people killed. But, as you can see, we have decided it after a lot of deliberation. I did lose a ship. Frozen Stag lost a couple ships as well. But overall, it was a pretty decent auto-resolve. Now, I feel like this is going to come back and bite us in the butt, and the reason I say feel is because I know the future. So anyway, we start repairing this, but, you know, you'll see what happens. So anyway, we got our stuff back together. I might recruit some mercenaries. As you can see, I've got some skills to assign, so that's going to be done pretty easily, and once that's done, we're all good. Everything's moving along. I'm actually moving another army down south so I can actually fight the Macedonians. Now, this is a pretty inexperienced general, and that's the issue we start running into, because a lot of our generals are new. We've had to raise so many new legions that most of our generals don't have the experience or the command to effectively lead and give us good results in the auto-resolve, so we might actually have to play some battles, which I know is a very daunting task for anyone that's seen this series. I am a big fan of the auto-resolve, but unfortunately we can't auto-resolve everything. But effectively, I'm just checking over the Empire. A lot of this episode was cut out. I think there were 3 hours of footage, and I cut a lot of it out because a lot of this is empire management. And that's the thing about Attila. Attila is a game that represents the fall of empires, and so managing an empire effectively in Attila is time consuming. It takes a lot of effort, money, and you've got to constantly be on your toes, because at any point some random tribe with like 3 dudes in a tent can just roll up into your empire, burn down 5 cities, and completely economically ruin you for the next 20 turns. And that's honestly what I love about Attila. That's what makes Attila a fun game, in my opinion, is just the infeasibility. Now, we are about to come into a battle, and before the battle happens, I would like to preface, at the end of what you're about to see, we suffered a bit of a crash, so we had to reload and fight the battle a second time. The second result turned out worse than the first result, but the same thing happened, so we have the same result at the end overall. So don't worry, you're not really missing anything, but the first battle was a lot more interesting, because as you can see, the Macedonians have come with some soldiers and a fleet, so we're going to have to fight that. So anyway, I will see you guys on the battle map.
Hey guys, Frozen Stag here, and welcome to what will be the probably final episode of the Crete campaign, and Crete multiplayer campaign, I should say. The reason I'm recording this is that we're actually going to be having a naval battle in this where we're actually like fighting a naval. We have a navy against a land army. This is gonna be an interesting
No
one.
wiser words have ever been spoken.
I'm coming in the north side of the map.
Honestly,
And why is my camera like just
Right.
go up again? Because I'm literally altered down, and it's not fucking helpful.
C and V. I'm gonna need your help, Mr. Stag.
Don't see fucking shit yet. Hang on. My shit's still moving to position. Oh my god, there's more ships.
There's a full navy. This is a...
Yeah, I'm coming.
Start the fight! Oh god.
Right, just wait for my huge navy to turn up.
Frozen Stag doesn't do battle
co-op
anymore.
campaign. Just
Shh.
that's the thing with the co-op campaign. Is that because me and Aaron are together, we don't want to waste each other's time by fighting battles. So that's why we don't really fight that many battles. In this.
Oh god. An epic naval battle, one epic navy.
So I can't deploy.
I know, it's horrible, dude. It's like, we got, like I said, the worst.
I can't even like form a line with my. Do you know what? Fuck.
Like,
Right,
actually, the worst possible battle conditions.
Oh, we need to fast forward. This is too slow.
Bro, I'm actually in a naval battle right now. I can't fast forward. I'm getting destroyed.
Like, you got an infantry one against the
Nah,
artillery.
I don't have to land to fight them, so I can just choose not to.
Well, the town's theirs. I hope to God they're bloody. When they take the town square, it doesn't mean we've won.
I don't think it
They've
will.
won, sorry.
Alright, my navy's pretty much gone, so it's gonna be up to you.
What the hell is shooting? Yeah, I figured we're gonna have like 2 battles to end the episode off, which this video could probably just be an hour.
We'll
I don't
see,
really care.
yeah.
Have to call it a wrap this campaign.
Depends on how quickly I decide my fleet needs to die.
Yeah.
Which seems, for the moment...
I'm
Douse the fire! Oh god! You guys gotta douse the fire! They're not doing it. Oh, it's gone. There's my admiral. Okay. Oh, there goes the last max of my brother.
Why on earth did my fleet spawn on the other side of the fucking bay?
I don't know.
Like, we was next to each other.
Yeah, they were literally right beside each other. Not helpful. I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to make this battle easier for you. Okay? I'm doing this for you now. Oh, you're
here we go.
You need to get your onager ships up. Actually, no, wait, their onagers are all of ammo, so
deploy the send against.
Yeah,
the
you need to engage all their fire ships at once, or else they're gonna burn the crap out of you. Those things are mean. Oh god. Oh god. Your general's gone. I think. Yeah, your general's gonna die, dude. They just flamed your general down to pretty much death.
Oh fuck. And I vault tabbed.
No.
Perfect timing.
Oh god.
Perfect timing, game.
Wait, no, your general's still alive. He's only 92%.
I'm not used to these bloody fire ship shits.
Yeah, these fire ships are horrible. Okay. I think your general's gonna live. Yeah, your general will be fine.
Right, I'm moving you out.
Your general got really lucky there.
Yeah.
If they had sustained that for another like 5 seconds.
This is literally probably my first ever naval battle, Attila. No. Yeah, it has.
I like the naval battles in Rome and Attila. I think they're a lot more basic than they were in Empire, but I guess that makes sense for the time period. You know what? I consider this a win.
My artillery are destroying them.
My navy getting completely destroyed, irrelevant.
I might as well just do the barrage thing and I'll just destroy them.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much just shoot into their blobs of infantry, and we'll speed the game up once the naval battle's done.
This battle's weird because like we actually have like choices and stuff.
Yeah.
It's because my army's here as well. It's not just your army.
Yeah, it's not just me.
Makes sense.
I am out of ammo. I'm not landing, so I'm going to just sit here and let you.
Once my stuff's finished offloading, I'm gonna move stuff about.
Oh, you're actually offloading? Jeez.
No, I mean once it's like finished, I'm not offloading.
You can move your archer ships up near the shore to shoot at them.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right.
Actually, see.
Strategically, we're gonna lose, but like we took out their navy, and they only had their navy and their army left, and their army's getting beaten up. My armies are only like 2 turns away from this city.
It's cause we don't really have any. Where can I land here?
We didn't get any land troops, and we didn't. When we were split up, I could not fight them by myself. Their navy. Their navy.
I need to actually land my stuff because fire ships are completely useless. They can sit at the back.
I mean, your fire ships are your biggest infantry corps right now.
What?
Yeah, look at them. They've got 140 men. Oh no, yeah, wait, you only have 94 and 100, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fire ships are pretty good. They've got heavy
I don't know if I can
marines.
even embark them, can I?
I wouldn't disembark, honestly. I would just... Can you retreat? Is there a retreat button for you?
I'll finish peppering them.
Yeah, I would finish, like...
artillery
I would say use all of your missiles and then just retreat.
Actually, I completely forgot I can do the replenish arrow thing.
Oh, yo, I can! Okay, you know what? Maybe you don't withdraw.
Yeah.
Maybe we can abuse the game.
I can't for the artillery ships.
Oh, I know, but, like, in theory... Like, the thing is, they're cycling units onto the shore. And we're just killing more and more of their units. Alright, I'm gonna
do is pull my stuff back, and we can just continue to pepper them.
Yeah, honestly, why not?
Right, no need to really record this. It's just me. It's just Army and Arrows.
They're running!
Cheesing the game, really.
Fools! Come face me!
You've got that side covered. Let me come over here, I think. I'll just shoot from here. I don't know if I can hit them, but fuck it, why not? Alright, we'll skip ahead of it until we actually still
they've come down to the shore. They've come down to the shore.
Yeah.
Oh, they've run.
I think this. I like the replenishing a bit, but I feel like it shouldn't replenish. Well, I don't know.
It shouldn't replenish infinitely, but you know.
Yeah.
At this point, Attila's 6 years old, so. You know.
There's no patching that.
Yeah.
I didn't hit anything. I've just come over here for no reason. Yeah, I've come over here for no reason.
Gotta replenish our shots.
I've come all the way over here just for no reason. Let me come back to you. That was a wasted trip.
Honestly, we're not even really hitting anything over here either. Because my ships consist of 19 men in total. I have 19 men. Yeah, he's preparing to leave. Like, I don't know where our allies are going, guys. Alright, prepare for the greatest marine landing you've ever seen. There will be a total... Actually,
brilliant.
I have about 120... I have about 140 men combined.
I mean, we could put... What are you going to do? Charge in?
I have to, because the thing is my troops can't withdraw from the battle. They're garrison.
Yeah, essentially my fleet's getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Your fleet's getting alive, so it can help in future fighting. Which there is going to be some more fighting.
And leave.
Off
Marines!
They go! We ride to ruin. Oh, they routed immediately. They have routed immediately. They have given up immediately. Wow. I'm impressed. Decim is dead, and now Firmus too. How can we carry on with such a loss? The greatest of our commanders, now struck down in the fields of battle. Now we are left with untested youths to lead our forces. If we maintain our current pace, we will need a miracle soon, or else our empire will come down collapsing under the weight that it has borne. Alright everyone, welcome back from that battle, and what the heck is Frozen Stag doing in Arabia? What's the dog doing? Anyway, Frozen Stag, I told you guys, my man is invading the desert right now, so... Fun fact, I've been muted for the last 30 seconds, but, you know, it's not like I've been talking this entire time. Oh, God. Anyway, Frozen Stag invade Arabia, that's pretty much what I said, so, hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, we're moving an army south to deal with some rebels, nothing big. We're also moving another army north to fight off more rebels, because honestly, that's what Attila is, it's Rebel Simulator. Do you love having a stable empire? Don't play Attila, play Rome 2. Do you like having a nice food supply? Don't play Attila, play Rome 2. But if you're epic, you play Attila. Honestly, between the two games, Attila has a better campaign in my opinion, but I appreciate Rome 2 battles more. And I think one of the reasons I like Rome 2 battles more is because it reminds me a lot more of what Medieval 2's battles used to be like for me, especially with the multiplayer community. The multiplayer community is great, I love playing. However, some people just need to know, like, if you commit to playing a siege battle, play the siege battle through. Stop leaving halfway, it's annoying me. And just because you put a third of your army in the final stand doesn't mean you're camping it. Stop raging, SMH my head. But besides that, back to the game we're actually playing. Again, welcome to more empire management. We're starting to do the civil techs. you don't want to do the paid for civil techs early on in Attila. And the reason you want to do that is because every time you do those, your research ability slowly goes down and slowly goes down. So you want to make sure that you avoid the paid tech under civic, and you want to do those last. It also, if you're playing Western Roman Empire and you want to convert back to paganism, you also need to avoid doing a lot of civil tech, because they will increase the amount of Christianity gain. So it's very important that you don't do that. Now, as you can see, we chased down these rebels, we've caught them in a bit of a forest, and now they're going to die. We've got some Western Roman help from their little garrison nearby, but it's not like they were going to do anything anyway. They're kind of useless. The Western Roman Empire pretty much just lives off of Corsica and Sardinia at this point, and honestly, I think Sardinia was taken by the Garamantians, if I'm not incorrect. But as you see, we've got 2 armies down here. The end of Macedon is soon. We did lose that battle to them, but fortunately for us, we dealt enough damage to them where they only raided the city and then went back to their little hovel on Syracuse. So, not that big of a deal. We're going to be able to take them out. Fortunately, finally even, because I have been waiting way too long to finally get rid of these guys. And you know what? We've earned it. We've conquered so much. We deserve a little murder in our lives. And who doesn't? I'm pretty much looking around the borders at this point, trying to find any threats. If you notice, there's a bit of a Hunnic army near Mediolanum. That's a bit of an issue. Again, Augusta Trevorum. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff at this point. Like, 90% is empire management. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the game. That's effectively what the entire game is. Now, I'm looking around. I'm trying to size up where I want to go after I'm done dealing with the, whatever they're called, Macedonian losers. I've got my legion over in Romania. That's pretty stable. Frozen Stag told me there's a bit of an issue, though, with some people trying to invade me, because the Sassanids are at war with me, and I don't know if you guys remember that they declared war on me, like, turn 10 or something. We haven't had to fight each other yet, but there is an army from one of their little vassal states, a full stack heading towards Constantinopolis, and I frankly don't want to lose that. That's kind of the jewel in my crown at this point, until I retake Rome, of course, but who knows if I'll do that. I might not. Actually, I'll tell you guys, I don't reconquer Rome. I don't reconquer Rome. Roma Restuat was a complete failure. It's all over from now. But anyway, back to the game. This is pretty much the end of my turn. I've got nothing else to do. I'm trying my hardest to like figure out what I'm going to do. As you can see, I've got some skills. I'm going to basically assign the public order and corruption skills as I usually do. Once that's done, we move on to the next tier of skills, which just gives defense and attack bonuses. Now we've got our stacks, and there's a bit of a rebel menace down here. As usual, there's always rebels. We're never allowed to be free of the rebels, because if we were allowed to be free of the rebels, then we wouldn't have fun. And that's what Attila wants. Attila is a game all about having fun. Anyway, thank God we've got such a competent commander down here. Who could it be? It's the mighty Virius himself. Virius is here to finish what he started. Virius is a god of gaming, a god of PvP, and he is going to destroy the Macedonian menace once and for all. Their garrison's pretty weak. They've just got a bunch of Comitatensis spears. We're going to move these guys into range. We're going to launch an attack on the city, and I should fight this, but I'm just going to auto-resolve it in the end. There's no point, so you guys know. It's a pretty easy victory. Now, I am constituting a new legion over here in Greece, mostly because my borders are starting to feel awfully insecure over here in the east. As you can see, there is an army. I think it's Kartli or Lazica. Either way, whoever it is, they've sent over troops. I don't really appreciate that because they want to invade me. They want to take Constantinopolis, and I say no. But there's also Huns all across my border, and never trust the Huns. Never trust the Huns. As you can see, I can actually upgrade this guy again. I believe he's a governor, if I am correct, if memory serves. The issue is, this was recorded like 2-3 months ago, so a lot of this is late. I'm trying to remember what happened, and the little previews I'm seeing in the editing software that I'm voicing over, they're blurry. But anyways, you can see we've got a worthy bride. I'm checking her stats. Will she make my guy disloyal? No, she won't. There you go. You guys can get married. Back over here in Syracuse, it's gotten even easier as Frozen Stag's moved his fleet over. Pretty simple auto-resolve. Not much to it. And the Macedonian menace is finally dealt with. Now, we are going to chase one of their armies down through the countryside as he attempts to flee, but he won't survive long. Sicily is a very small place, and you cannot run and hide forever. So yeah, we'll chase down him. We'll deal with that. Another glorious victory, though, to be added in the triumphs of Virius Nicomachus Flavianus. a true legend for all Corinthians to follow after. And this legion has finally proved its worth down here, so of course we are giving it its proper legion name, Legio IV Italica, as they have proved. I think Legio IV Magna Graecia would also be very good, but I feel like they've completed a milestone and they've campaigned throughout Italy. So we welcome Legio IV Italica to the Corinthian legions. May they serve the empire with honor and distinction. But yeah, we've dealt with these guys. Various is good. One issue that's really starting to pop up now is we can't recruit proper units to replace our losses. Our recruitment fields in Italy are not as good as they are back in Greece, mostly because of previous infrastructure over here, and we just don't have the money to overhaul them. So we're having to recruit a lot of mercenaries or second-rate units to add to our professional legions, which is overall bringing down the quality of our troops. This is a big issue because we're going to start needing it. Now, it looks like we've mostly got everything under control at this point, so, you know, everything's good, but we're actually at war with some people. Some barbarians declared war on us, and they've come down and they're trying to take out Augusta Trevorum, or up there, or is it Augusta Vindoloricum? It's Augusta Vindoloricum, isn't it? Anyway, as you can see, yes, the Langobards have decided to come down and mess with us. I'm not very appreciative of it. I'm kind of hating it. But for now, we're just going to go over here and we're going to deal with these guys who have decided to show up on our border finally and try to take Constantinopolis. That's not great. And then I come over here and I'm like, wait, my army is composed mostly of mercenaries because I needed to rush it out. I'm not going to win this battle. And I promptly run away. So we're back across the Bosphorus, and we're just going to sit here in Constantinople, and if they want to cross to come fight us, well, they can go do that. But I'm going to sit behind the Theodosian walls, and they're going to have to deal with that fact. So unfortunately for them, I'm not going to take a fight. I'm not going to take losses that I don't need to. Again, empire management. I have money, but I need to spend it, and almost every building takes up a full turn's worth of wages, so that's not great. So we're pretty much able to build maybe 1 or 2 buildings a turn. And this is allowing us to develop slowly, but again, our economy is in such a fragile state that if we get invaded and lose a city or experience a particularly bad rebellion, we could potentially take massive economic repercussions and not be able to recover for turns, years even in game. So there are a lot of things to consider. As long as our army is strong, our lands should be able to prosper, but even that isn't a guarantee, because if we get run up by the Huns, all of a sudden they're like, "Ayo, we're in your territory, and oh yeah, half your stuff's gone." Because there are Hunnic armies everywhere. If they start going into my villages, I am destroyed. And so there's not much I can do. So the Huns are pretty much an endgame for me. The Huns are pretty much an endgame for Frozen Stag too, but a real endgame for Frozen Stag would be the Sassanids. If the Sassanids declared war on him, which I'm not saying they do, we'd pretty much be screwed. And now I'm trying to do some peace with Hispania. Hispania is a very strong Roman remnant state, and I really don't want to fight them because they're too strong, but they reject our peace overtures. So unfortunately, we're going to be stuck in a situation where we can't make peace with our primary opponent now, and this is going to lead to some interesting situations upcoming, so you'll see that. And now, if you notice, there's an Hispanian fleet off the coast, so I was just telling you guys about how I've been recruiting mercenaries into my army to subsidize my lack of troops. There you go, there's an example, because there's a Hispanian ship on the way. I really don't want to fight Spain. Fighting the Hispanian Empire is the least of my concerns, mostly because I just don't want to do it. Like, it seems completely unreasonable. I have no intentions to take their stuff. I don't know why they're attacking me. I feel attacked. They should be worried about the Gauls, not me. Jesus Christ. But anyway, that's frustrating. I have to deal with that. Now, the army over here is just kind of run off, so yeah, they're heading back. I've got my legion. What am I going to do with it? We'll probably move it back towards Romania. Mostly because I just need to make sure that place doesn't get Hunned. And that's going to be my verb whenever there's a Hunnic army nearby. I'm worried about getting Hunned. I don't want to be Hunned. I hate the Huns. Huns suck. Huns bad. Corinthian Empire very good. Anyway, the remnants of the Macedonian forces are just running around Syracuse at this point. They've got some ships. This is their final land army, so once they're gone, they're gone. However, as we know from prior experience, even the tiniest Macedonian force can take over an abandoned village and turn it into a temporary regional power. And granted, very temporary. But as you see, you know, checking the family tree, our heir did end up marrying one of the daughters of Magnus, the king of Corinth, the previous king of Corinth. He is now dead. F for my boy Magnus in the chat. He died out there for real, for real. That sucks. It does suck. But Virius is still alive and kicking for now. And we don't know how much longer he's going to live. I mean, the man's only 37. How could you be that young? Or old? It's like, freaking Dark Ages, man. Everybody lives till like 5 years old and they die. Short lifespan, you know? Really sucks. Anyway, we're moving more troops back up north because I want to finish off the northern campaigns and I want to take the last Western Roman holdouts. Now, the Roman hegemony's got their capital back in Rome, actually, because they've been kicked out of Insulae Occidentalis, which is Syracuse and Sardinia, and also Palma, but Palma's kind of irrelevant, so we're not paying attention to Palma whatsoever. Again, Virius, my man over here, is like nearly maxed out on his stats, and we've actually gotten to the final level of skills, so it's very good. It's going to help us a lot in the upcoming fights. Not that there would be any upcoming fights, you know. Not because the series is about to end, but hypothetically, if there were upcoming fights, that would help a lot in those upcoming fights. So, Virius is a god-level commander. Hope he doesn't die. It would be great if he didn't die, preferably not now. But, as you can see, the Langobards just kind of left. They came up, they were like, hey, this place kind of sucks. It's been destroyed multiple times. There's like no reason for it to exist. And so they just vibed off. And you know what? I'm not going to complain. Out of all the things that could have happened, them leaving me alone for now is the best. So, big ups, my friends. Now, I am going to be moving these guys up towards the north, dealing with some more rebels along the way. Rebels are a constant issue here. They're raiding our countryside, taking away our food, damaging our economy. All in all, rebels bad, me no like. Preferably they just go away, but they're not going to, because they're rebels, and this is Total Attila. Again, pretty easy auto-resolve. No big concerns there. As you can see, the army's still in pretty good shape. We'll replenish those numbers on our way north, and we'll be able to deal with anything that comes through any particular alpine passes. But yeah, I'm going to put them in force march. I pretty much just have to sit and let the Macedonian fleet sit over there. I can't really do much about it. But if you notice, the Hispanians have blockaded Genoa. But now they haven't. And if you notice something, there are 3 full-stack Hispanian armies that have come through the pass. That's not good. So now I've got to scramble my armies and figure out a way to hold these guys back. And that's not going to be fun. Because I am in no position to want to fight Hispania whatsoever. So this is when the campaign starts to derail a little. Me and Frozen were expecting this to be our last episode, and we were going to call it quits here. I've also got some rebels fighting up inside of Illyria. Unfortunately, this is where the series comes to an end, because in these upcoming turns, you'll see that everything goes wrong. Everything goes wrong at once. So I'm going to talk about it now. The Huns will declare war on me in a couple turns, and the Huns are a big threat. They also declare war on Frozen. That's not good. That pretty much puts us in a position where we have to fight the Huns. I've got 3 full-stack Hispanian armies that have just come through the Alps and are ready to fight in northern Italy. And then, what turns from a worse situation, a pretty bad situation for me, turns into an even worse situation where the Sassanids finally declare war on Frozen. None of Frozen's armies were in position. He had maybe 2 armies that he could have used to defend against the Sassanids. There was no way he was going to be able to hold them off. So this is one of the reasons the series ended. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, so you guys gave up because it got too hard? That is, I will admit, part of it. We were planning for this to be the final part because recording these took up so much of our time. We would spend a huge portion of our Saturdays recording these, and that really started to grate on our social life because we weren't doing anything and we were wasting so much time a day pretty much on this. And you know, it's a good series, it was fun, but Attila really starts to slow down in the later portions with all the empire management you've got to do. So unfortunately, it became too much time for us, and this is right around when Frozen got his job. And if you guys have seen in his Discord server recently, I don't know if you're in there, that is really starting to affect his recordings as well. But we figured this is already taking too much time out of our week. I'd spend like 10, 15 hours editing this series. I know it doesn't seem like that, but it was a lot of effort. Frozen was getting a job, he wouldn't have time to do this anymore. And yeah, it was just getting to be too time consuming. So with Frozen getting a job, the campaign getting untenable and way too hard for the moment, they did pull off, but they do come back in a little bit. So don't worry, the Hispanian menace isn't gone, even though they backed up for a little bit. But yeah, it just got to a really poor situation where we didn't have the time to do this. And the series was coming to a conclusion, and that's when it started kicking off again. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed with our decision to continue. They're going to think we wimped out. It was too hard for us. We couldn't do it. And I'm very sorry that it had to come to an end this way. I would have liked to continue it, but like I said, life comes first. We just didn't have the time. But I would like to show you guys what my hypothetical future for the Corinthian Empire would be after these startling revelations. So anyway, before this campaign ends, I'm going to pretty much start a suicide war to take these last settlements in northern Italy just to prove something to myself. And yeah, so there we go. Ooh, look at me, I'm conquering northern Ity. Unfortunately, I will never retake Roma, the Italian peninsula. I would like to think that we do eventually, and you'll see that in my little after shot of what happens. But yes, the final conquests are taking the final auto resolves of the greatest series on Earth. Now, unfortunately, the campaign doesn't last long enough for me to win this siege, but I'll see you guys in the after show. The Corinthian and Cretan empires stand at an unprecedented and very unstable time in their history. Both empires, being quite new, are untested against great and long-term strife. Now the Sassanids and their vassal states march west while the Huns descend from the north and Roman Hispania invades through the Alps. I would like to present what I see as a likely and probable future for these two empires, but please feel free to post what you believe would happen in the comments below. During the winter season, the Hispanian armies pulled back across the Alps to make camp. During this time, the siege of Mediolanum would come to an end and northern Italy would be firmly under control of Corinth. At the same time, the 4 Italian legions would all be deployed to the north to fortify from further Hispanian attacks. While this might leave the south open to rebels, it would most likely be assumed that Hispania posed the greatest threat. At the same time, however, over in Anatolia, the Cretans would launch a preemptive counterstrike against the Sassanids to take control of the province of Cappadocia. Unfortunately, this is where the good times end. Once spring arrives, Hispania would attack by the sea and land into northern Italy. Hunnic forces would attack from the north, and the Sassanids would launch a counteroffensive into Syria and Anatolia. While slightly outnumbering the forces of Hispania, the forces of Corinth are weak by long campaigns and reliance on foreign fighters. However, I believe that they would be able to beat back the Hispanian attacks and maintain the northern border. Deeper in the empire, however, Hunnic forces that were wandering in the heartland would run rampant and devastate local regions. At the same time, Dacia and Sarmatia would fall under complete attack by the full might of the Huns. The legions in the Balkans would be able to bring the heartland under control and safety, but Dacia and Sarmatia would be lost almost entirely. At this time, the Cretans would be locked in combat with the Sassanids, but at the start of the war they were spread so thin and had so few legions in Anatolia they would quickly be overrun by Sassanid vassal states. After regaining control in the Balkans, the core legions would move to defend the borders. However, like I said, Dacia would be almost completely lost to the empire for the foreseeable future. After Hispania was repulsed, Virius would continue his mission to take over Italy and declare war on the Garmantian occupiers of Rome. He would launch simultaneous attacks on Corsica and the city of Rome itself. The siege of Rome would almost certainly go successfully, but maybe not Corsica due to the destruction of the Corinthian fleet. In the east, the Cretan legions in Arabia and Egypt would arrive and march north. They would begin pushing back into the Levant. However, it's harder to predict what would happen, as here the Sassanids would be very strong. I do suspect Crete would see reasonable success in repelling earlier attacks, and most likely be able to regain some control in Syria, as they do have superior infantry to the Sassanids. On to the final map. Perhaps a few years after we left the campaign off, I think this is a reasonable estimate on how the world would look for our two empires. Italy would be united, and the remnants of Rome would finally accept annexation into Corinth. The Hispanians were pushed back and the Garmantians destroyed. However, Dacia would be lost, and Raetia et Noricum would be under constant attack by Barbaroi. In the east, both sides would suffer significant losses, but a stalemate would occur after Crete could establish a line. This is the farthest in the future we can really predict. Virius is in his middle age, but his son is a competent leader, so under his future control, the Corinthians would be quite strong for a while, but they won't last forever. Most likely, with the loss of Restuat et Noricum and the slow erosion of power in Italy as they fight off attacks from the Huns, Hispanians, and Africa on all sides. They'd slowly be pushed back into the Balkans and then deep into Greece, most likely becoming a rump state in the modern area of Greece itself. For Crete, however, it is unknown how they may persist. I can reasonably guess that Egypt and Arabia would become untenable while fighting the Sassanids. Revolts and invasions would quickly take control, and Crete may become an Anatolian power once more. Over the years, they would be battered by Persians, Mongols, and eventually Turks, being pushed further and further towards the coast, and eventually being pushed completely into their core islands off the mainland. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching Roma Restuat. Please tell me what you believe would be the most reasonable guess for how the world would play out after the end of the campaign. Thank you all so much for watching again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Mythic out.